Yeah, where you at? Rabbit.
Minister Darlene Jackson, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you for addressing my stage and gracing my stage,
My
my
pleasure.
platform, with your beautiful
Oh,
personality,
Thank you so much.
your spirit, your character. Thank you. And as a church member. So we're on a different level right now, but yet still have to acknowledge that. So, Minister Darlene, we have been in church for a period of time. Nevertheless, we spoke, but never really had a conversation with one another. Now, I never knew that you have dealt with what you're dealing with, especially with who your father is. You know, and I think that's where a lot of your trauma come in, your mental problem, right? So, going through that, I want to kind of take a journey from your childhood and the things that you have endured, the things that have felt like you was not, maybe if you felt like you was not worthy of anything. So we want to know about the things that first that was mentally impacting you, you know, your mental stability.
A lot of times we don't realize we don't actually think that we're dealing with mental illness until we get older. As a child, being the daughter of a very prominent politician, we were told that we had to do the straight and narrow. There was a lot of pressure because he was academically and athletically, he excelled in all of that. So whatever he was doing, he wanted his children to excel in as well. So, you know, going to universities, colleges, receiving so many degrees, that's a lot of pressure to try to live up to. So I never felt like I quite made the mark. He set the standard so high, so very high for myself, my twin sister, and my brother. And a lot of times we were just like, we're tired. You know, when you're as a child and you bring your report card home, didn't like doing that because you weren't making straight A's and straight B's. I have a cousin that received a PhD. My brother, my sister, and I, we've done college, but we have not graduated. We have not gotten PhDs. He went to her graduation, and you would have thought that that was his daughter. Just never felt the emotional love from my father, but as an adult now, I realize you can't give what you don't have. He tried to prove to everyone that he was good enough. And I've dealt with not feeling good enough, not being pretty, just all of that. Because as a child, every daughter wants to be daddy's little girl.
Wants to be daddy's little girl.
Daddy's little girl. I was never daddy's little girl. And on top of that, having a twin sister, having to share my daddy was hard as well. So a lot of the mental things that I'm dealing with now and the emotional, I now realize where it stems from. It stems from my childhood and just not being good enough. And, you know, I've not shared this with many people, just not wanting to be here anymore because I didn't feel like I had a purpose.
So you kind of feel like life was not worth living and having to meet all of the expectations of your father
Absolutely.
and of your parents because he's this upstanding the citizen. Of course, you say he was in all academics. Then he's a politician.
Yes.
He's a deacon now, right? And he is a councilman, am I correct?
Well, that is actually my stepfather.
That's your stepfather.
I'm talking about my biological father.
Okay, you know what?
You didn't
Excuse me, you look so much like it.
Well, they say when you're around
They
somebody,
say when you feed. Now, I was always told growing up as a child, if the child ain't yours, if you feed him long enough, they're gonna look like you. And you're a prime example of that.
Absolutely.
You're one of those that got fed and look alike, okay? But anyways, with that, okay, with your biological father.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and the young lady that be at church with, that's your twin sister.
Yes.
I knew
yes.
she was your sister.
Yes, she's my twin
I never knew y'all was twins.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, because I thought he was your brother.
Oh,
I really
really?
did for a long time.
Well, we've been together for
because y'all kind of
45
favor
years,
still.
so,
Yeah, he got resemble the family. He's resemble the family. Y'all got to really see her family. They all look alike. Even the adopted children, they all look alike.
Wow.
But anyway, Minister Darlene, go ahead. As you were saying now, all the expectations and what
yes,
have you.
expectations. We were sheltered. We had to make sure we didn't bring shame upon the family. You know, no scandals, any of that. It was almost like we were in a military family. We weren't. It was hard.
Totally strict.
Very, very strict. Wasn't in the military, but felt like we were in the military.
Right.
It was hard. And even as an adult, being 62 years old, I still feel like I have to prove to my father, you know, and consequently, I am now having to take care of him as his caregiver because he has an onset of dementia.
Oh, wow.
And our relationship growing up, it has not been good, but I've had to put that aside because I don't want it to be said that I was not there for my father.
Right. Even though he felt the way, even though you felt like you was not that child that was good enough. Okay, in comparison with your sister, your twin sister,
yes.
were there any favoritism between the two of y'all? Was the favorite? Well, because sometimes that do happen.
Well, my twin sister is 3 minutes older than me, and my brother is 4 years younger than me. But this may sound crazy, but I feel like I suffer with middle child syndrome, even though it's only 3 minutes. So I've always been the strong one. Felt like I had to be the strong one, not allowing people to see me.
Normally the ones that go through are the strong ones.
Absolutely.
Normally the ones that go through are the strong. You know, I want to go back to God. He said he would never put no more on you than you can bear. And then in order for you to carry out his plan and to be a witness as you are and a testimony as you're giving, you have to go through these things in order to be able to stand up and tell other people. Again, people needs to know.
Absolutely.
And I don't care. You can have like all the education in the world, but if you don't have self-experience and been through it, a person will never know what you've endured.
Absolutely. When I share my story, a lot of people are like, you've gone through that. You know, I'm yet going through things, even, you know, with my husband. He'll share later, but you just never know what people are going through. So I always like to give a smile. Like I said, I do mentor and mother young women that don't have mothers in their lives.
Right. And I've heard Pastor actually you got an award or some type of a recognition from being that person.
Yes, absolutely.
For being that motherhood, you know, and being the mother that maybe that's like your daughter, like your father wasn't to you.
Yes,
you
absolutely.
showed them love, and because they come from a strange area, a different place, right? Am I correct?
Absolutely.
I don't know nothing about these folks. I don't know nothing about these folks. But because they come from a strange, and you saw the pain, the desire for love, the desire for attention, the desire for some careness. So just hold me because you don't know what they're going through.
Not at all.
But only thing you knew that they need somebody.
Absolutely, in their life.
And you was the person, as they call the mediator.
Yes, absolutely. Mentor, mediator, mother, whatever you want to call me. That's what I am.
So now these young ladies that I see in church, they're in church.
Yes, they are. They are in church.
So as Quinn Nigel say, apparently you're doing something right.
Praise God, praise God.
Apparently you're doing something right because people will not follow your leadership if you're not doing the right thing.
Yes.
Even as myself from being a former drug addict, as I told y'all in my other show, and a convicted felon. Some people can judge me because, and some people still do, but I give a rest behind because it not defines who I am now.
Absolutely.
That was the past. This is the new us, right?
Absolutely.
So we don't, and experiencing those things, and as I say, dealing with doctors, when you know what you're dealing with, what you went through, what you've gone through, even when you're being approached with these situations now.
Yes.
In the mental sense, you know how to deal with that and not let it really get there. Because my thing is, anytime a person let the least little thing get here in your database, in your mental database, they have taken control of you.
Absolutely.
They got power over you. You could have have a project that you know that you need to get done. I don't care. But if when that enemy comes and put that little negative, try to put I always use the word try, because you don't get me no more.
Right.
And when he comes to attack you, and if you have not been experienced and being able to identify those same tactics, because the same tactics still come, but they just come in a different form.
The battlefield is in the mind.
Is in the mind. And if you're not strong enough spiritually and mentally, you're overtaken.
Absolutely. I trust God. I've trusted God.
It's
been a faith walk for me.
It's a faith walk.
Yes, it is.
It's a so-called faith walk, but yet you're still here to tell your story, and that you're still stable. Now, mind you guys, she's about to be a part of my panel over there, my doctors. Dr. Well, I'm going to go ahead and say Dr. Darlene.
I received that.
I done said it 3 or 4 times, Dr. Darlene. So, yes, she's actually going to be a psychologist.
Yes.
Explain to us about your schooling now, and still with the story that you are telling us. Does it still affect you when you have some relapse of thinking?
Absolutely. Just not ever feeling quite enough, not being able to achieve the bar that has been set. I've got maybe a little over 2 more years and I'll have my bachelor's in psychology. So I can't stop. I've come too far, and God has just placed so many different people in my life that I've had to minister to, mentor. So I know that I have a purpose.
And that's the thing you just said the key word, people to mentor.
Yes.
Mentoring is understanding.
Absolutely.
Mentoring is directing, leading, guiding.
Yes.
And you cannot do any of that. I don't care how much education you had, but if you don't know from personal experience, you can't do it. I mean, the doctor can tell you anything and give you some medication or whatever the case may be. But if you have not experienced this type of stuff, you cannot tell a story like on my other show with 9/11. That was an amazing story from Ms. Vonnie Barker. Yes. But she know how to deal and cope with life now.
Absolutely.
You know, her coping mechanism is really helping, you know. Mm-hmm. And so I feel the same way with you. Yes. And you mentioned earlier that your husband, Dr. No Name, I keep calling all these doctors people.
Richard Jackson.
Brother Jackson here, Richard Jackson. You was mentioning that he went through some challenges in his life, and it was another mental issue. Absolutely. That you had to deal, another load, another burden on you mentally.
Ooh, mentally, emotionally, physically. Yes.
Yeah, and he had to deal with some almost amputation of his leg or something. Can you tell my audience about that?
I'd love for him to tell it, but I guess I'm the, that tells it best, because he experienced the physical, but the mental and emotional. His foot was nearly severed in a horrific work accident. I'm not sure if you're familiar with, it's a reach picker. It almost looks like a forklift, but they use them when they're putting things in the store on high. Mm-hmm. So he went to step off of one, but it kept on going and it crushed his foot in between another one. He really doesn't even remember all of this because he completely blacked out because he lost so much blood, but they helicoptered him to shock trauma in Baltimore, Maryland. He was in there for 2 months. Meanwhile, I have a 5-month-old at home, an 18-month-old at home, a 10-year-old, and a 13-year-old. Mm-hmm. And I'm having to deal with all of this. No family. All I had was God.
God and yourself and your prayers.
And my prayers. And I think, some people say the cliche, I thank God for being in my right mind. No, that's real for me.
That's real.
I thank God for being in my right mind. It's been 27 years and since his accident. I go through bouts of depression. He goes through bouts of depression. But what I want to let people know is one person may be dealing with the physical. Mm-hmm. He can't really relate to the emotional and mental that I'm going through with, because I've pretty much had to carry the financial load, me and God, for 27 years.
But it's still working.
We've been married 32 years.
It's still working.
It's still working. It's still working.
Most marriages do not last because you know what? A lot of times, I'm seriously speaking.
It would have been easy to walk away.
Right.
It would have been easy to walk away.
Some people don't want to deal with other people's problems. I don't care if you're married, whatever. You cannot perform like I want you to perform. You cannot do the things that I want you to do no more. You cannot do this, but when you make that commitment before God, through sickness and health,
oh my God,
that is an oath, people.
Yes, it is.
And that is an oath before God, to the person that you're marrying, and to the oath before people. So when you don't want to be standing in shame of, okay, I done backslid from my marriage because my husband or because my wife was not able to say, no, you made an oath.
I did and made an oath to him, and I love him. We're high school sweethearts, known each other since we were 15. Unconditionally. Now, I do want to say that when he had his accident, we weren't in a good place in our marriage, so it would have been really easy to walk away. God said stay, so I stayed.
And we got to be obedient. And we got to be obedient. So now, on the contrary side of this story, Mr. Richard. Mr. Richard. Because I asked him earlier, what was his name when I was make sure I'm getting all the information. I said, what is your name? He said, no name. I said, okay, well, that's what I'm going to call you on stage then. He thought I was lying. Mr. No Name. But Sister Darlene said, Richard. So anyways, when we come back, we're going to hear from Mr. Richard No Name Jackson. And I promise you, he got a story to tell.